Hi guys, my name is your Big Fan. Today, I'm gonna be saying a fan fiction story about Spider-Man, mainly him, and also a few small crossovers that I want to be doing from other categories. One, I have Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the other, Mr. Negative, is from Spider-Man, but from Spider-Man PS game, as in PS4 and PS5 remastered. The characters are not mine. Shredder is from the DC universe and also from Warner Brothers, the ones that made Looney Tunes. And the other two, known as Spider-Man and Mr. Negative, is from Marvel, where they made a lot of comic books of Spider-Man, the Avengers, and also the X-Men, even Fantastic Four, and also Thor. But I will be starting off with the school where Peter Parker, with his few friends, Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane Watson, and also Harry Osborne. During in school, Spider-Man with his best friend, Gwen Stacy, also known as the partner of the student class of the science. And also there was a project contest in school, also known as Study in Class. Mary Jane and also Harry Osborne was also in it, but them two was partners a separate way. So then, making gadgets and other such doing for the fest. Now the teachers and the scientists were looking around, seeing who was the best scientist ever to make Dr. Otto. Now, Harry Osborne, he has something with him because there was bullies earlier at his. Never mind, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, Harry Osborne was bullied by other boys known as Flash and others, etc., etc. He had spares with him. Now, nobody was supposed to bring spares with them into this class contest, but he had some which was webbed fruit from the radioactive spires, which he owns of a company with his father, Norman Osborn. Harry Osborn didn't know that he brought radioactive spire with him, but the radioactive spire crawled down from his back under the ground, going to table. He didn't know what to do, and it climbs up Peter Parker. It was walking around while Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy were doing their project. The spire climbs onto Peter's arm, onto his wrist, and then bites. Peter Parker jumped and was slapping everywhere, but mainly slapping at his arm. But he misses the spire. The spire was crawling all over him and goes up to the back of his neck and bites. Finally, Peter Parker kills the spire and it falls onto the ground. And everyone's looking at him. He's like, I'm fine. It kicks spire away. It's like, what was that? Just a bug, it bit me. It wasn't poison, nothing else. They said okay, and then they walked to their business. So then Gwen wanna have a look, and also Peter says, I'm fine. We'll get the project done, and let's win the contest. So the faster we can go do this, the faster I could get medication. Gwen Stacy agrees and then continues the project. They won at second place, but Harry Osborne and Mary Jane won at first. Peter Parker was happy, but then also wanted to go to get medication done very, very fast. So then he goes in the middle of the street, but also those boys after him, as usual. They threw his backpack into the river of the sewers. All of it getting messed up and taken away. Peter ran fast for the bullies. They did not know that he got bit by the radioactive spider. So he ran home and the boys lost him and then went upstairs. Okay, what's my medication? Okay, what's my medication? He said to his mind, looking in dim drawers, but then he finally passes out. Early in the next morning, he woke up and then starts to stand up, feeling a little dizzy. And then all of a sudden, he didn't need glasses. He looked around, seeing that everything was clear. It looks in the window. Like the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man, he puts glasses on and off, testing. Also climbing all over the walls and on the ceiling. But he carefully gets down onto the ground. And then goes downstairs to eat breakfast. He felt really new. And also talks to his aunt and uncle. This was the early back of the days when, as he was a teenager, Ben Parker was still alive and excuse me, but Mary Parker and May. I'm sorry. I'm just not thinking right. Anyway, he talked to his aunt and uncle and then was talking about school, winning the project, but also telling them about the bullies from the backpack in the sewer. They were both not happy about it, and then Peter Parker wasn't trying to let him, he was trying to run away as fast as he can, but he actually made it without the backpack. They all started about it, and then they started to eat the breakfast, and as it was the school day off at the moment, Peter Parker and Ben Parker go together in his old car, driving around and going to other different places and talking to Peter, Ben Parker was, and all of a sudden they were talking about family stuff and what could go wrong, and then friends into bullies. And then with great power comes great responsibility, Ben Parker said to his nephew Peter, and Peter smiled and gets out of the car, are getting some shopping done, shopping, and then goes around town into nighttime. It's mainly shopping because they're getting ready for winter. It's kind of like the country folk thing, but as the night goes on, Peter Parker was doing his last shopping, walking around to the car, and then suddenly he hears a gunshot. Ben Parker dies from an Asian killer, and then Peter Parker wanted to do something about it. And he was sad, but then he couldn't do anything besides try to help Ben Parker as fast as he can. Suddenly, Ben lost too much blood and then died. Then the police reported it, and Peter Parker was crying about it. Man, there was 3 policemen at that night, but they didn't do anything. He tells Gwen Stacy's father, or Captain Stacy, about the situation, and the 3 cops couldn't do anything about it. He screamed in anger that he couldn't do his job and their job as well. The captain got mad at it. They got mad about it because, cops don't like being told that they weren't doing the job right. They almost arrested him, and then Gwen Stacy told him don't do it. He has his reasons, and his father died. Well, yeah, a lot of people died, and we're trying to do our best as we can, Gwen Stacy, his father said, and Peter Parker did not agree with that. So then he stumps off to the car, and then just waits for Emmy to get out, because they were at a police station the next day. And then to the other next day, Peter Parker knows that he has powers more, and also regenerable web. It's kind of like the remix of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man, but mainly like the 1990s animated show Spider-Man. Except he has regeneratable web. He was creating a suit of his own. First, it was just red and blue, no webbing at all. And next day, he put webbing onto his suit, which was black, and put spires on it. But I was thinking about a mask mainly and upgrading his suit more. It kept working on his suit until it was finally finished. About a week later, Spider-Man was his job and most of his other studies well, having his friends and other students, and also stopping crime. He's getting better at swinging across building to building until the next night he finds the killer and knows that it was part of the Foot Clan. Now, the Foot Clan is from the DC universe of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Spider-Man starts fighting it and also puts the killer into prison. Spider-Man starts crawling all over the ceilings of the sewers trying to find anything as best as possible, but noticed that the Foot Clan was making mutants and releasing them to the sewers, causing the policemen more trouble. And also, as Dr. Connors, they mutated him into a huge lizard as well. Spider-Man started finding a cure before anything else was too late. He kept doing so and doing so, trying to do his best as possible before anything else. Now, before that, he knows that Mr. Negative was behind this as well. He's been hearing it since days ago and weeks ago. Spider-Man was thinking about this through and started looking up sites, how to find cures, how to stop evil magic, how to do something about it. While doing so, creating antidotes and also vaccine cures to turn people back to normal. It was mainly his job and known as 4 dead turtles, which were mutants lying on the ground. Spider-Man felt very bad and also had no time. He didn't do his job. Also known as 3 of his best friends getting pulled up by Mr. Negative and his dark magic. Spider-Man tried to stop him, but mainly Mr. Negative throws them away. And Peter Parker saved Mary Jane and also Gwen Stacy, but also Harry Osborne was falling to the ground. Iron Man saves Harry Osborne from the trouble, and then Spider-Man was happy that he saved Harry Osborne. He needed to stop Mr. Negative and the samurai warlord Shredder, which was also a war criminal and also trying to cause more chaotic problems as possible. Spider-Man saw Shredder. They're in the sewers again, trying to stop him as fast as possible, but mostly he was defeated. He couldn't do anything else besides just sit there and just suffer for a tiny bit until he gets healed up, healing himself with his own regeneratable webs, trying to heal up as fast as possible to stop Shredder and his Foot Clan, and also the Negatives. He did not know that Mr. Negative and also Shredder would team up together to create chaos into New York City. Spider-Man started to think about what to do. How can I do this problem? Wait, a cure should help, but I hope this works, Peter Parker said to himself. He goes back to his house, starts working on cures again. Also noticed that Aunt May said to Peter Parker that Lee is here. As Peter Parker figures all of it out, that knows very quickly that Lee is Mr. Negative. He hides all the cures and most lies as fast as possible, hiding them underneath his bed, and such other things. He's now wanting Mr. Negative to know, and talks to him about family stuff and other such as etc. about family business and rich business as well. And then, as they say bye, Peter Parker started to think about Uncle Ben saying, with great power comes great responsibility. And also, Ben Parker telling Peter Parker about family business. So then Peter Parker starts to go to Lee's house and then his office at a rich building. He looks all around and starts to see files, papers, and pictures, seeing what he could find. Notice that Notice that Norman Osborne was trying to help his wife, but decided to turn away. Norman Osborne killed his wife by accidental, which was misinformed. Lee got mad and started to use our dark side against him. But then Norman Osborn forgot about who was Mr. Negative until months and months later. Spider-Man tried to stop Mr. Negative and Shredder at Oscorp's tower, trying to stop the chaos as best as possible, knowing that great power comes great responsibility, and it gets Mr. Lee out of the dark side. And as he done so, which was hard work, Shredder was about to kill Mr. Negative, and then it was a tough fight of Spider-Man and Shredder fighting him, and almost to the death, up to Oscorp's tower, and then gets all the infected mutants into humans again, just like the Amazing Spider-Man movie. During the schemes, he stops Shredder finally, and then puts him and us, Mr. Negative, in prison, and saving everyone else. Everyone was happy that Spider-Man helped out, but the policeman, as usual, was mad at Spider-Man doing their job. You know them pigs. So then Spider-Man starts swinging across building, and then says the ending, kind of like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. So I'll end this here. I'll do a part 2 of this fanfiction story. I hope everyone likes it. Make sure you like and subscribe if you do enjoy it. And as always, I'll see you later. Bye bye.